Garza Blanca, finally. So the hype is real. I'll tell you that right now. Just by first impressions, I can already see why this is the #1 resort in Cabo. It's not for everybody, but just based off its model alone, it could easily be the best all-inclusive I've been to up until this point. It's different in so many ways. Garza Blanca Cabo, let's go. The Cabo miniseries continues with Garza Blanca, which just became the #1 all-inclusive resort in Cabo San Lucas. Garza Blanca emphasizes luxury, comfort, style, and cuisine. The all-inclusive model is unconventional, and it won't please everyone. But after watching this video, the reasons for its rapid rise to the top spot in Cabo are obvious. Pulling up the Garza Blanca, I was met with a warm smile, cold towel, and delicious glass of champagne. The rare, ultra-tall champagne flutes were super cool and classy, so I double-fisted 2 of them. Entering the lobby, this place is stunning, spacious, stylish, and sophisticated. It is the epitome of modern luxury. The grand space and open layout combined with the dramatic glass windows and Cabo sunshine is a wonderful recipe for both comfort and class. If the rest of the resort reflects the refinement and respect that effortlessly radiates throughout the lobby, this might be more than the #1 all-inclusive in Cabo. This might be the best all-inclusive I've ever experienced. Or maybe not. As I was standing in line, 3 things blatantly captured my attention for the wrong reasons. More on that later, as well as the room, the adults-only option, the sky deck, and everything dining. This property is breathtaking, and the way it surrounds and hugs the pools and palms is incredible. Above all else, the beach looks like something I would see in Cancun, and there are actually people in the usually rough and empty Cabo waters. So it was a lot more quiet and calm yesterday. There were a lot more people in the water, I swear. There still are some brave souls getting in today. Personally not for me, but it's the most beautiful Cabo beach I've seen up until this point, not even close. The water is almost Caribbean-esque. Cliffs in the background. Of course, you got this gorgeous hotel as a backdrop. Usually Cabo beaches are an afterthought, and this is one that will definitely get your attention. Good morning. Before I tell you how insanely incredible dinner was last night, let me show you my room. This is the cheapest basic room at Garza Blanca Cabo, the junior suite, and it has multiple things I've never seen before at any all-inclusive resort. One of those things is the minibar, which is an entire trunk embossed in faux alligator leather. Up top, there is an espresso machine with 4 different options, and next to that are 4 different types of glassware for any dining or drinking scenario. The minibar has several snacking options and offers best-in-class both sodas and cervezas. The bathroom is the star of the show. It has a stylish Japanese soaking tub and a radiant dual vanity with external kidney sinks. The shower has a shimmering seat and floor, very reminiscent of Cosmo Las Vegas, but I like this version better because the floor has some texture and some grip. And then we have this. I haven't seen these since my Tokyo trip. This is the magnum opus of the room. I forgot how life-changing these are. Believe me, the hype is real. The main area has a double queen setup. The plush mattresses feature the ultra-rare triple pillow menu, and the 10x10 terrace is double-walled for privacy. An entire family can fit into the giant oversized hammock and enjoy front row yet secluded views of the pools, property, and ocean. Big day today, huge day. Let's say all of the pools, a drink at every one we can. There's a Coco Loco guy floating around. We'll try to track him down. And then let's finish with lunch at the food truck. We'll call that the challenge for today. It's the second day in a row that I began with Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is not included with the all-inclusive plan here. Unfortunately, you have to pay out of pocket. However, I may have a workaround for you. If you do have the all-inclusive plan, you can order a cappuccino or a latte off the room service menu. The options are eerily similar to Starbucks. You just don't have to pay. You do have to wait about 45 minutes though, but you do get it delivered to your door. That's a trade-off I'm willing to take, especially since it's included. All the pools here, at least on this level, are the same. They're all like family kids pools. There is one general main pool, but it's quiet right now. I should have gone upstairs. I knew it. I should have done the adults only pool, but I'm gonna stay on course. I'm going to get some lunch at the food truck and then main pool after that. The food truck isn't a food truck whatsoever. It's actually a beach restaurant with a kitchen that somewhat resembles a food truck. Like all of the food up until this point, it was remarkable. Speaking of remarkable, dinner last night was stuffed with standouts. The overall menu had the depth and creativity to compete against any Asian restaurant in Cabo, and the quality, size, and presentation of the dishes were better than anything I've ever encountered at Nobu. The coolest thing might have actually been the walk down to the restaurant with the giant torches burning in the distance, acting as a beacon and a guide to your reservation. Many people staying here opt to not partake in the all-inclusive and pay for the dinner and drinks out of pocket. But whether you're all-inclusive or not, you're still ordering off the same menu. And for that reason, the food is insane. It's amazing. It has to be, or else people would not buy it out of pocket. Definitely better than what you would get at like an Excellence. I mean, literally next level. I will say the service is a little slow. I've noticed it 3 times now. Check-in, Asian restaurant, and here. My trip isn't even halfway over yet. I thought I'd bring it up. Not a big deal because I'm willing to sacrifice promptness for quality. Just saying, service, a little slow. Slower than it should be. This property is built on a slope. So they had to design the pools and probably the property to be congruent with the overall landscape here. It's terrible. The pools are just, there's no flow. There's absolutely zero vibe. They're like individual pools that only a few people can enjoy. It's really a beautiful space out there, and I do like the architecture overall. I think they could have done something a lot more beautiful and creative with that space. What I do like though is that at the main pool, the bartender there recognized me from my Hyatt Ziva video. He was the guy at the tequila shop who sold me that tequila or mezcal with the scorpion in it. And he also made me a phenomenal drink. I have no idea what it was, but it was gorgeous. And then I was able to hunt down the Coco Loco guy. He was also like the popsicle guy, so I dropped one of his popsicles in the Coco Loco. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but didn't really do anything for me. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so it is what it is. And just to complete the challenge, I did have a drink at the bar that is next to the sushi place from last night, the Asian restaurant. That was the best drink I had all day. We are not playing around today. It is not even 6:30. Huge itinerary. There's only one buffet breakfast, and it's at the Italian restaurant where I ate last night. So after I finish my breakfast here, I'll give you a recap on the dinner. Adults only pool up top. Before that, I'm headed to the lobby bar. Before that, we're headed to the steakhouse. It is apparently the best restaurant here. Next to the steakhouse is this gorgeous bar. That closes at 10. But take a look at these pools. I mean, look how small they are. And I understand what they did. Smaller ones, make them more private. But it's just weird. It's really, really weird. The flow is off. The energy is terrible. The layout is absolutely atrocious. There's no vibe. The energy is weird. This is beautiful, but it's not functional. It's not fun, and it's not enjoyable. property has a little bit of Vegas DNA in it. I'll give you a couple examples. First example, check-in 4 p.m., check-out 11 a.m. The regular internet here is only 3 megabits per second. I had that speed back in 2001. If you want the faster internet, it is, I think, an extra, I don't know, maybe $20 a day. The Mexican restaurant was absolutely the choice last night, but I will say I felt a little duped, or at least I was misinformed. When I originally looked at that menu, I did not know how to decipher it. You have to look closely, but there are items with like red markers or red emblems next to them. Those you have to pay a la carte. And all the best items, of course, were a la carte. And since I'm already paying an arm and a leg to stay here, I wasn't about to pay any more money for those dishes. So my attitude changed a little bit, but I was able to find some things that looked delicious. My waiter, Bryson, was sensational. He was spot on. Everything he said was golden. Shrimp empanada, incredible. The chocolate mousse, insanely delectable. Overall, a great meal this morning. I had just as good of a time, if not better. I guess getting there at 6:30 kind of put a different perspective on it. I essentially had it to myself. The sun was rising. It was very peaceful. You know, they had gigantic pieces of French toast, lots of different eggs, omelet stations, tostado stations, enchilada stations. That bar is palatial, opulent. I'm going to go back there for a drink for sure tonight, either before or after dinner. This property is essentially all couples. It's either couples with small children or just couples in general. The space up there is deceivingly large. The pool never felt packed at all, and then a lot of people just chose to kind of sit in the loungers behind or beside the pool. Wait staff was on top of you all the time. I will say though, without that component of the property, without the rooftop infinity pool for the adults, the dynamic of this property would change drastically. It would not be what it is. It would be extremely lackluster. It would be hollow. It would be incomplete. Really, that's probably the best part of the entire property. So my dinner tonight at the steakhouse is around 8. It's about 6:30 right now. I'm going to stroll in early. I definitely want to have a drink in that super swank, chic, trendy bar, either before or after. And then we got 2 things to do. We got the lobby bar, and then we got the late night adult only lounge. There is a 30-day dry-aged ribeye on the menu that's available to all-inclusive guests. That is crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that's right up there, if not better, than the tomahawk at Excellence. You get to choose your own steak knife. The staff was by far the most intelligent, well-managed, service-oriented staff I encountered throughout this entire stay. The meal just didn't come together. I'm sorry. It was my least favorite meal. I can't believe it either. The steak, I don't think it was aged. The short rib tacos were bland and dry. There was like a blue corn type of taco shell, and man, that was like eating cardboard. After dinner, I did mosey over to the sidebar. I just had a drink off their cocktail list. That was absolutely amazing. All the drinks here have been amazing. It's nightlife time. We got 2 things to do. We have the main lobby bar and then the upstairs adults only lounge. That's not nightlife. That is night death. It's a good thing that the drinks at Garza Blanca Cabo are incredible, because that is the only good company that you'll find during the evening. As far as the all-inclusive option and the adult-only section, many are probably wondering, should you do it or should you not? The short answer on the all-inclusive option is absolutely. I wouldn't stay there without it. It just doesn't make sense. It's too expensive otherwise. Regarding the adult-only experience, I would look elsewhere. It's not a standalone experience. It's not an experience at all. It's too commingled with the rest of the property. So what are the negatives and the positives about staying at Garza Blanca Los Cabos? Let's get the negatives out of the way. The first one is it's too Vegas. With the extended 4 p.m. check-in, all the add-on fees, and the a la carte options, it's way too much in-your-face profiteering. The general pool design is atrocious. Absolutely zero privacy, serenity, or enjoyment. Also, you better love to eat and drink at Garza Blanca Los Cabos because there isn't much else to do. Not only is there not any nightlife, no activities, and no evening entertainment as well. Additionally, the property was also too family forward for my liking. It felt much more like a luxury preschool than it did a luxury resort. And lastly, the price and value. It's extremely high and extremely low. Is the price justified? Yes, it is. Are you paying in lockstep for every morsel and droplet of luxury you receive? Yes, you are. So after that, you might be wondering, how is Garza Blanca the #1 all-inclusive resort? Well, in the following categories, it is in a league of its own in Cabo San Lucas. The first one is the beach. It looks like something you would find in Cancun. The food wasn't perfect, but I can definitively say it's the best food I've ever experienced under the all-inclusive umbrella. Same for the drinks. Finding better mixology anywhere in Cabo would be a challenge. And it's an actual and legitimate 5-star hotel. The luxury and style surpasses some of Marriott's most elite brands. And finally, the dexterity. The all-inclusive option is a no-brainer, but it's nice to have the choice all-inclusive or not. Ultimately, I'm rating Garza Blanca a 4.5. It's perfect for lovers of luxury, dining, and mixology who seek amazing food and drinks in a very family-friendly setting. But value-minded guests looking for a traditional all-inclusive resort experience, they will be disheartened. Garza Blanca delivers the best in several core and key categories, but you pay for every iota of it. Still, the best is the best, and that's why it's the #1 all-inclusive option in Cabo San Lucas.